Everyone either has a Honda Civic, has had a Honda Civic, or knows someone who has or has had a Honda Civic. And there's a very good reason for that. This is the 2021 Honda Civic, and today we're going to take a closer look. This generation of Honda Civics I think is probably the best looking ever, so let's go over what makes it look so good. The front grille isn't anything special, but I don't think it looks that bad. The side angle of this Honda Civic is probably my favorite angle because it has all these really sleek cuts that I think make it look really good. It also has these wheels that I think the size of them look really good on this car. They are 17-inch wheels and they complement the car very well. This particular Honda Civic has a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder that produces 178 horsepower. And weighing only about 2,900 pounds, it produces 32 miles per gallon in the city and 42 miles per gallon on the highway. One thing I will say is that when this car first came out, I didn't really like the look of it that much from this angle of how it goes from being really big back here to getting smaller down here. But it's actually a really good design because it gives you a lot of space in the back and it makes it a really good family sedan. And speaking of the back, I think the rear looks really good in this car. These C-shaped taillights have become pretty much iconic, and I really just like the way that they look. Whenever you see it on the road, you're like, wow, those are some cool looking taillights. The trunk is pretty good too. It has 15.1 cubic feet of space in here. All right, now let's check out the interior. The interior is one of my favorite parts about this car, second only probably to the driving, which is what we're gonna get to in a bit. The interior of the Honda Civic is pretty spacious. It feels good, it's really comfortable, and I really like it. Let's go over all the features and little things that it has inside. So let's start off with the entertainment system. The screen isn't huge, but it's not that bad. Here you have your climate controls. It also does come with heated seats on both sides, which is really nice. And then you also have the individual climate controls, which is also really convenient. Here's the gear shifter. And then we have the modes right here. So we have eco mode right here, but then sport mode is right here. It's not a button. So you just push it into sport mode and then you can drive in sport mode. We have the brake hold right here. How we've always talked about how if you're in the drive-through or in an amusement park line, you can use that, and then your parking brake right here. We also have these two cup holders, but if you push this back, there's one extra little cup holder and a little charging port down there as well, which I think is pretty convenient. Coming over here to the steering wheel. Steering wheel has a lot of its controls on it. So we have all of our entertainment controls over here, volume up, down and up. We have all of our phone call answering stuff over here. We have our cruise control controls over here. And I will say that I really do like the cruise control. The adaptive cruise control is really good in this car. I will say it is a little bit complicated to see on the screen, which we'll look at in a little bit. But other than that, it's pretty good. Then the steering wheel, obviously we're gonna have our indicator controls. We're gonna have our windshield wiper controls as well. And then there is our instrument cluster, which I really like. I think the instrument cluster looks super futuristic and I am a very big fan of it. I also really like the air conditioning vents, how futuristic they look. So to the left of the steering wheel, we're gonna have our window controls. So both the driver and the passenger have automatic windows. And then we have our unlock and lock buttons, and then all of your mirror controls as well. And then down here, we have the button to open the trunk. Here we're gonna find a traction control and then also some of our assisted steering stuff. Now we're gonna check out the digital things on this. So like the instrument cluster and the entertainment system, because there's a few things there that I wanna show you guys that I think are really cool. So here's the instrument cluster. And what I really like about it is just, honestly, all of it. The futuristic look of it is awesome. And it's also really simple. And I really like that about it. I don't like how complicated the entertainment system is, but Other than that, it's not too bad. Now, one cool thing I wanted to show you guys is that this car has a little camera on the right side that when you turn on the right turning indicator, turns on to help you see over your shoulder. So let's do that. So we're gonna press on this, and then it's gonna turn on the camera right here, and then the little camera is on this mirror right here. Awesome. Now we're gonna take a look at the seats real quick. I really like the seats. They are really comfy. They're perfect for road trips and stuff like that. So yeah, let me give you guys a look real quick. One really cool touch about these seats is the stitching. So it does have this really nice stitching that goes throughout the entire car that I am a very big fan of. I just think that the stitching really gives it a more premium look. But let me show you guys the other seat too. So here's the stitching on the driver's seat. It's the same thing, but it's just very nice. It's a good touch, and it also is on the steering wheel, which I like. And then we also have it here on the side panels. So yeah, it's a very nice touch, and I'm a big fan of it. All right, now let's check out the back seat. And like I mentioned earlier, because of this like curve that it has in the back, it gives it more space, as you can see right here. So yeah, let's go inside. Okay, now we're inside the 2021 Honda Civic back seats. The back seats are pretty nice. They're pretty similar to the front seats. They're super comfy. I really like it. There's a ton of headroom, and they're just standard back seats. This little thing does come down to give you a few little cup holders, so that is pretty convenient. One thing I will say is right here, there's no air vents, and there's also no charging ports. But back here, we also have a pocket in the back of the passenger seat on this one, and then the driver's seat does not have a pocket. Other than that, we have these little storage compartments here, like almost every car, and the window controls and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. They're pretty comfortable. There's a lot of space back here, and so for road trips or for families, it is a great car. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that's take it for a spin. Okay, for now we're just gonna have it in the normal drive mode, and then in a little bit we're gonna put it into sport mode. Okay, so what I was saying earlier is that my favorite part about this car is the way that it drives. What I mean by that is that it does everything right. The throttle response is amazing, the steering is amazing, and we're gonna show you in a little bit what that is. And then also the engine sound isn't that bad, but the steering is so precise in this car. It is impressive. I'm very impressed with the attention to the steering that Honda put into this car. The throttle response is also impressive for being such an affordable car. Like I also mentioned before, the assisted steering controls that are over here are pretty good. They're just a little bit confusing to know what's going on up there, as you can see, but it's not too bad. And if you have this car, you know what I'm talking about. The visibility in this car is also very, very good. Okay, now we're gonna throw it into sport mode. It does make a pretty big difference. It does sound a lot better. The steering is even more precise. And then another thing I really like about this car that I noticed is that the brakes are also really good. So it really just does all of the small things. It really just does all the small things perfectly. This is a great car. So if one of your most important things is to have like a fun car that can steer good, that sounds good, I mean for a 4-cylinder, it's nothing crazy, but for a 4-cylinder it doesn't sound too bad, and then it also has a good throttle response, then this is the car to go with. It's reliable as well. Obviously everybody knows that a Honda Civic is super reliable, so you really cannot go wrong with a Honda Civic, particularly a 2021 Honda Civic that you can probably get at a super good price if you get a used one. So yeah, overall, this is an amazing driving car, and it's also great on gas. It's fun to drive. It looks pretty good. So I have no complaints with this car, especially not with the way that it drives. So overall, the 2021 Honda Civic just checks off all the marks, and it does really well in a few things like the steering and the throttle response. It's a very good looking car, and it's also very affordable. So if you were looking to get one of these, it's not the absolute worst choice you could go with. Honestly, it's one of the best. But yeah, let me know if you were thinking of getting one or if you already have one and how you like it. But yeah, other than that, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.